All right, this is my introduction to the course and to myself. I'm Alan Nowicki, biology instructor here at Highland Community College, and the course here is Biology 145 Human Biology. It's a 3 credit course that fulfills the general education objectives for the natural science. So you may need to take more than one course, but this counts towards that. It's Gen Ed, not for biology majors, and it's a completely online course. All materials are done online, tests are taken online, assignments are submitted online. So you won't be working in the lab, and we won't have to meet in person, and you don't have to come in to take tests at Highland. Although if you wanted to, you could take them here at Highland in the testing center or even at the library or computer labs. Biology 45, I suppose I should give you a little introduction to how the course works. Um, each week we'll go through approximately one chapter in the textbook. There'll be a quiz on Moodle. That's a 10-question quiz that you will take on that chapter. And that quiz you can take as many times as you want. Only the highest grade counts, and so you should be able to get all the points for that. Then each week we will also have a discussion forum, which will have some question related to either the text or a prompt I give you, which is related to the text. And you'll have to answer that and then read your some of the responses from your classmates and respond to those. And those are your activities are worth 5 points a week there. Both the Moodle quizzes and the forums are only open for the week that we do that chapter. And so those have short deadlines on them. It's important that you keep up. I won't reopen those for you. Do them on time. Then approximately every 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have a longer writing assignment that you'll write an essay on a question, again, probably given a prompt, and then you'll turn that in online through Turnitin. There's 5 of those essays. They're worth about 15 points. Generally, you're going to write about a page. We're not going to have term papers or anything like that. But those are longer points or longer assignments where you'll construct a more detailed argument and support it with evidence or explanation. Then on each section of the course, we will have a 50-point exam. Again, that will be taken at home. You can work on that at home by yourself. And so there's 4 of those. For the last section, there will be a final exam, and half of that will come from the last section, and then the other half will be material drawn from the rest of the course, so it's comprehensive. In total, there's 600 points for the course. You can kind of see right there on the lower left. And then on the lower right, the percentage of those points you earn will determine your grade. And so the grading scale is down there. As I said, all assignments should be submitted by their due dates to receive full credit. All written work should be your own. You can't copy. If you do use something from a source, you can do that, but then it has to be in quotation marks, and you have to cite the source if it's word for word. Quizzes and exams do have time limits, and so I set those time limits, and you should be aware of them. They're usually right on it. Quizzes can be taken more than once. Exams may only be taken once. Exams and quizzes just tend to have mostly multiple choice and short answer or fill in the blank questions, sometimes true and false. There might be essay questions on the exams. Okay, so there's the grading scale there. In general, we're going to cover, I said, about a chapter a week. Some important chapters will take a little longer on. Sometimes we'll kind of skip through a chapter or 2 in the same week. So chapter 1 is really important, so we're going to spend 2 weeks on that. And then chapter 2 and 3 are less important, so we'll go through those fast. Um, the exams are listed and scheduled already, so I have the first exam is scheduled for the end of next week. Wow, that comes fast. And then the second exam is for the week of September 23rd. Okay, so that's the schedule for the first 8 weeks. The other rest of the schedule is posted in the top box on Moodle. You can take a look at it there. If by chance we get off schedule, I will post a new schedule on Moodle, and I would warn you about that by sending you a little message to say, oh, the schedule's changed. Take a look at Moodle. But usually we're pretty good about staying on schedule. So, what is human biology? Well, it's really a kind of a broad-based study of people. Okay, and so the course is divided into 5 sections. The first one kind of goes over what is human biology and then what is science, and that's a really key thing because we are studying science and what are some of the aspects of science, how is it done, how does it affect society, things like that. The second section goes over kind of some levels of organization, taking us all the way from chemicals and cells up to whole organs. And then in the third section, we deal with some organ systems, and we talk about control and transport systems. So our nervous system, our system that controls hormones, and then our blood vascular system. Then we shift brakes, talk about the human reproductive system. We talk about patterns of inheritance, things like that, leading to the next generation. And in the final section, we talk about evolution of humans and humans and their environment and ecology of the humans. And so we get to a larger and larger level of organization as we go. So that's kind of the course introduction. I should explain that picture there. That's kind of from the ecology section. That's a view of New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And so it's a typical thing of human biology there that we tend to build near waterways. And so those are susceptible to flooding, and population growth can make flooding worse. And so it's a good example of something like that. Okay, then my other really big thing was I was going to introduce myself here. So I'm asking you to introduce yourself in the first discussion forum and get to know some of the other people here. And so I'm going to introduce myself. So first here, my professional introduction there. So I went to college at the University of Wisconsin. So you see Bucky Badger there in Madison, and I'm a graduate there. I have a bachelor's degree in zoology, and I liked that so much that I went and continued with one of my instructors for a master's degree, and I worked on wildlife disease. So I worked on otters and mink. So I had a really great time with that, and I was also a teaching assistant then. So I decided I was going to go to the University of Southern Illinois to continue that, make teaching one of my professions. And so I went to Carbondale, University of Southern Illinois, the Salukis, and I got a master's in teaching there in higher education. And so I have 2 master's degrees, and I've been at Highland for, since the last millennium. And while I was here, I went back and took a break for a year and got another master's degree in bacteriology. So my background is kind of in disease biology, things like that. I've taught at a wide variety of places as a teaching assistant and as a full-time instructor or professor. And so I've taught at the University of Wisconsin, University of Alberta in Canada, Waldorf College in Iowa, and here at Highland Community College. So that's kind of my professional background there. But if you want to know me a little differently, I can give you a more personal introduction. So I've been a kind of a professional student my whole life. I'm learning things the whole time. And so it's, I think being a teacher is really being a learner. and just kind of sharing what you know. And I like to read. I like to learn about new things. I like asking questions and hearing student questions. And so those are things that I really like to do. And so I like teaching. And I also like people. It's a good thing because I meet lots of them and I don't like all of them, but I like most of them and most times. Um, I like to do outdoor sports, particularly things like skiing, hiking, bicycling. Um, I'm One of my sons plays tennis, and so I'm learning to play tennis and pickleball. Um, I'm also, since I'm active outside, I'm also active in environmental groups. And I'm a big food enthusiast. I like cooking and like trying new foods. And so, I'll stick some of that in once in a while. So we'll generally have one or two of these recorded programs each week. They'll be short, 10 to 15 minutes. Um, they're often summaries or supplements of what was in the chapter. So there's a second one here that's more kind of straightforward on the book, and then uh, after you've looked at that, read the textbook, then you can take the quiz and answer the form, and that's what we'll do each week. So this is important that you keep up with the schedule. We're not going to wind up all over the place. We stay together, learn as a group. It allows us to learn with each other, to talk to each other about these things, and to learn together. So welcome to Biology 145. I hope you have a good time. Let me know if you have any questions.